All right, in this video, I'm going to talk about SoFi, what I'm expecting on the short-term time frame, how confident I am in this count, and then comparing it to the overall market. I'm going to use SPY for the overall market. So let's go over the overall count here. This part up here is a little bit tricky. I have this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I am not opposed to this being 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. The fourth wave would actually end right here, and a fifth wave higher like that for the third wave. And then this being a fourth wave. I am not opposed to that. The reason I'm not opposed to that is I'm seeing that setup on a few charts. One of those charts is Google. Google looks like it could be in a fourth wave and have another move higher of about 5%. And then I see Apple. I think Apple, despite the big sell-off, I think Apple can hit 220 to 230 by October, maybe higher than that. And so that's why I'm not opposed to this count being the end of the third wave right here. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Overall, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then get a fifth wave like that. I'm not opposed to that. So we'll see how it goes. That would make a lot of sense. If we go to SPY here, I'm looking for one more move down here, probably next week, early in the week. I think we can make a wave 5 down here. Not sure how low it'll go. There is a demand zone down here at 600, but overall, you can see the count right here. I have this as like that. So I am expecting SoFi. Now going to SoFi, how would this relate to SoFi? Ignoring whether this is the top of this wave right here and just looking at the short-term time frame, that's all that matters right now. We had 5 waves down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we got an ABC move up. So I can label this A or 1. This is B or 2. And then we can kind of get an idea of where we'd expect this to end for the C wave. So I would expect this to end somewhere around 19 bucks. But for it to be a wave 3, it would have to come all the way down here to about 18 bucks. So based on what we see from these first couple of waves, it looks like it's probably going to be a C wave. Why is that good? Because that leaves a door open for this to be a wave 4. If it was an impulse, it couldn't be a wave 4. It also could be, so it could be a wave 4, or it could be a overall A wave of a corrective move. So basically, putting this all together, what is the smart play here? I think the smart play is buying between 20.61 and probably 19 bucks. In that range, I'd be a buyer of SoFi regardless, because at the least, if this is an ABC move, you're going to get a retracement up here. And then once you see it's a corrective move, if you realize it's not going to go to new highs, you can just sell up there. And then we'd probably get a move down after that. If we're lucky and it ends up being a fifth wave, then we're looking for 5 waves up to new highs. So it's a very favorable setup for SoFi here in the short-term time frame. Of course, it's possible that we end up getting this too. But I would say that's a lot less likely based on what we already have. And if this were to happen, then I would be more bearish, because that would make this more than likely 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 like that. So based on what I see so far, I think this is a buy right here. But if it does come down here to 18 bucks, that would make me more bearish. Overall, the reason why this is important is because a corrective move down is less bearish than getting an impulse down. So overall, the summary of this video, I'd be a buyer on SoFi between 20.57 and 19 bucks. And whether or not we go and make new highs or we just retrace here, you'll make money, basically. So we'll see what happens. I only wanted to make this video about the short-term time frame for now. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think that we're in a wave 4 and we're going to make a wave 5, or do you think we've already topped out for wave 5? Again, it doesn't really matter to me right now because you can break this down on smaller time frames and you can figure it out as you go. The overall count doesn't always matter if you can figure out the short-term count. So I know some people are probably going to be confused with this video, but I would just focus on the short term. Look for under 20.50 down to 19 bucks. Be a buyer there. Let's see where the weekly moving averages are at. So it is slightly bearish though with the moving averages. I don't see any support. Maybe the 50s around here. Let's see where the 50s at. 50s down here at 17 bucks. The 100 is not going to be there either. 100 is going to be down there 15 bucks probably. Yeah, so it is slightly bearish on the moving averages, but it does look to me like this is going to be a buy right here and then potentially a ramp up to new highs or a retracement to 22 to 24 bucks. All right, that's all I got for today. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe for more updates, and I'll catch you in the next video.